So what were some of the challenges while making this movie?
One of the challenges. How long have you got?
Hi, this is Katherine reporting for Kids First and Cat Around Town, and right now I'm at the 40th edition of Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah, and right now I am at the premiere of 10 Lives. In 10 Lives, a pampered cat named Beckett takes for granted the lucky hand he's been dealt after he was rescued and loved by Rose, a kind-hearted and passionate student focused on saving the world's bee population. When Beckett loses his 9th life, fate steps in to set him on a transformative journey. This cat is ready to talk about another cat, so let's go. How do you feel that you're at Sundance right now?
So happy. I think it's a moment in my career I'll remember for the rest of my life. My first dance at Sundance, promoting a film. And yeah, just super happy and excited.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
So can you kind of explain a little bit about what 10 Lives is about?
Yeah, so Mo, over here, he voices Beckett, who is a pretty spoiled, funny cat, and really contradicts our idea of what a fluffy animated animal is like. Usually they're really cute and cuddly and you kind of want to mother them and they're super endearing, but with Beckett he's super sassy and he has an edge, and he's on the journey of learning how to be more grateful for what he has around him and for the one life that he has. And he meets Rose, who is a student that's so passionate for saving the planet, for saving the bees specifically. And she doesn't really want a distraction in her life. She's very focused on delivering, and then they meet each other and this beautiful friendship grows.
Oh, I love that.
Hey! What's going on, bro? As you can see, I've got a sensational crib. Thank you.
So you played Beckett.
Yes.
So did you change your voice at all for the role?
You know what? I went into, at the first record we ever had, in my head I was like, okay, think of famous cats, Puss in Boots, Top Cat, Tom and Jerry, and Chris was like, hey man, just be yourself. So I got to give this cat its personality in some ways, which was so much of a relief for me, because I was going into it being like, I'm a cat, and trying to think of how a cat would sound. So I got to give the cat its own personality, and once I kind of started reading the script and how the film develops, I was like, okay, cool, it kind of makes sense that I stay having this voice, because I can't be emotional sounding like, what's up, yeah. So so I had to just be myself essentially, which was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great when you can kind of put your own personality into.
Yeah. And I think the most surreal thing is I got to see some of it back, and seeing an animated cat move its lips like me and facial expressions, I was like, okay, this is very weird, but at the same time fun, because you want to see how it develops. The team that get to, they make it, they're phenomenal. I feel like sometimes myself and the actors have sometimes easier job, because they have to then put our emotions into it. But it was a fun process, really fun. Oh, and I got a new toy, so I didn't introduce you, Mr. Squeaks. This is no, he's gonna be a bit shy. This is the best life ever.
Have you ever done voiceover before?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, so how was that experience?
So I think at first I went into it really nervous. Really nervous, but as I got to give Beckett its personality, I got to have more fun with it, got to improvise a little bit, add some words, and I think I started to really enjoy the process. Started adding words and saying to the director and be like, oh, can I say it like this, or can I try it like that, and really give Beckett its personality. I'm representing for all the cat lovers out there. Even I'm a dog owner myself, but I'm representing for all the cat lovers, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I do a good job for the cat owners. Yes.
So was there anybody you kind of drew inspiration from to play your role, Rose?
No pressure.
Interestingly, I did initially. I think my mum, if I'm honest, and Chris was just like, take away all of that and just be you, just be yourself, bring your own voice to this character, forget about everything else, any other distractions, and just believe that you're in those scenes, believe that you're talking to the cat. I guess I've got a deep relationship with animals anyway. I'm always very emotionally attached to them, and I guess that really helps. That was an inspiration for me when trying to act with in the booth as if I'm talking to these animals, just trying to imagine all the different experiences I've had with my own pets.
Yeah.
That's Larry, my ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
He's a nitwit, but he's a genius with bees.
Well, is this your first time doing voiceover?
It is. It is.
Can you kind of describe that experience?
It's been amazing. Really different from, it's different hours. You're not in the makeup chair in the morning and on set all day. You go to a booth and it's like all your senses are shut off. You're just using your voice and your imagination. And it's the first movie where I'm singing. It's my singing debut. Zayn Malik has been incredible producing the soundtrack for this movie. So I'm so excited for the world to hear all his songs. And yeah, I had the honor of singing a duet with him. So very excited for that to come out too.
Yes, for sure. I'm excited to watch it.
Yay.
So how did you go about casting Mo and Simone? Did you have them in mind at first, or
Well, I have to give kudos to our casting director.
Right.
Robin Klein and Jeremy Ross, two casting directors. I know Robin well from previous movies, and she's extraordinary. And honestly, because it's an indie movie, I thought, well, there's no way we're going to get big names on this show. And she said, let me see what I can do. And then when she brought me, Simone, first of all, I was like, are you kidding? This is fantastic. And it was. And then with Mo, Robin had brought Mo to me as it was a minor role, actually. But as soon as I heard him, I was like, he's Beckett. He is so good. I mean, he's like an English Robin Williams. His stand-up is fantastic. He doesn't tell jokes, he tells narrative, and there's funny circumstances, which is sort of what I want for the movie. And then I met him, and it was a perfect situation, perfect working with him, and all the rest of the cast too. I mean, I ended up getting to work with Bill Nye, who is a hero of mine. So, yeah.
So what were some of the challenges while making this movie?
One of the challenges. How long have you got? For us, this was 5 years from when we first became involved. There were different producers, different director, different writers, and we loved the concept, the theme of it, but it wasn't quite there for us. So when we took over, basically changed a lot of things. And we've been blessed with not just our creative partners, but also like Martin and his colleagues. I mean, financial partners who also have a good voice creatively and can. So I think you said it. We're very collaborative. It's not just this is my movie and I'm going to make all these decisions. You've got to listen and take the best out of it. Well, yeah, we had some issues. Yeah.
And we've been blessed with the best team ever, honestly. With Chris has been amazing to work with, our voice cast, Simone, Mo, everyone. They're just all incredible people. So I think that really helped make it what it is today.
Yeah, I call Chris our Welsh wizard. So there's been wizards since in Arthurian times and Merlin. So he's our Welsh wizard.
I knew it. The zombie apocalypse is happening. Rose, quick, save yourself.
Oh, my brain hurts.
This is Katherine reporting for Kids First. Thanks for joining us at Sundance Film Festival 2024. Please don't forget to subscribe to Kids First and check out all of our reviews and interviews.